Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the NBL1 live channel on YouTube. We are commentating tonight, State Basketball Centre, local rivals in the men's division. The Dandenong Rangers are in town to take on our Knox Raiders. I'm joined by my... I gave him a big pump up before, so I'll just say his name this time. Damien Morris, the one and only superstar with the stats, ready to rock and roll for Game 2 of tonight's contest, and this promises to be an absolute belter, Damo.
Looking forward to it, Ducky. I don't think the position of the teams, Dandenong 9th on the ladder and Knox 14th on the ladder, is hopefully not going to be indicative of the contest. I'm expecting some really good basketball out there tonight, Ducky. What are you looking forward to seeing, mate?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the matchup in the backcourt, to be honest with you. Damon Hire is starting to influence basketball games and feel really comfortable with his role as the general of this team. And I'm really excited to see him go up against Lucas Barker tonight in what proves to probably be the pivotal contest revolving around how this game will come and factor in a victor for one side or the other.
You know, Ducky, you're right about Damon Hire. Since he's moved into that true one spot after Darrell McDonald went down injured last week, doubleheader weekend for both these teams. Damon Hire, 25 points on the Sunday, and it was a 44-point weekend for Damon Hire. And Mike Rose was huge last week, 27 points on the Sunday, and that was a 50-point weekend for Mike Rose. For Dandenong last weekend, again, doubleheader, and both teams went 1-1 from the doubleheader. Kernish Drew, 19 points, including 5 triples. Froling, 21 points on the Sunday. Froling's averaging 15.6 points a game, and the man you speak of, Lucas Barker, 15.2 points a game.
Samson Froling is all about highlight reel finishes at the rim, and he's been a fixture in the NBL1 top 10 plays of the week. He promises to make this contest very exciting. And also, I think our man, the big Sedarian Rains, has been unlucky not to feature in the top 10 plays this week. So
yeah, he won't disappoint us tonight, Ducky. He will be top 10. I'm
almost imploring the digital side of the NBL1 social media team to really see if he can somehow squeeze Sedarian in there tonight, because I feel like he's been a little bit unjust, Damo. But starting fives are on the floor. Lucas Barker, Dexter Kernish Drew, Matt Kenyon, the Brisbane Bullets development player, Samson Froling and Tim Lang for the Dandenong Rangers, and the Knox Raiders come out with Damon Hire, Adam Thosby, Mike Rose, Simon Grant in James Hunter's absence, and Sedarian Rains at the 5, and Big Froling goes to work early, and he needs a real big confidence booster for him, and he's going to have a Simon Grant's going to have his hands full there.
And you mentioned that, Ducky, James Hunter not playing for Knox, is away with Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in China. That is going to be a big out for Knox. Knox, Sedarian Range, nice little right-hand hook. Knox are a poor rebounding side, 16th in the competition, in fact, for rebounds. So without James Hunter, is going to make the job for Simon Grant even harder. But Simon Grant plays big, mate. He's averaging over 7 boards a game.
Damon Hire gets the better of Barker there on, and whacks Big Samson.
You know, Ducky, so Knox are the lowest scoring team in the competition, 80.2 points per game. The competition average is 87.1 points. Dandenong are leading they're above the competition average, averaging 87.4 points a game.
As Kernish Drew throws it into next week.
And low turnover teams. Knox 13.2 turnovers a game, and Dandenong 12 turnovers a game. Knox do shoot, they're 15th for shooting at 42%, whereas Dandenong are 46%, and they're 5th in the competition. So
interesting, Matt Kenyon has the job on Damon Hire in the half-court sets as Big Rains goes to work and can't get a big basket. Barker ahead to Kenyon. Looks inside. Extra to Kernish Drew. That's open. He points to the bench and says, you called that one, fellas.
You know what, Trent, Barker, when he gave that extra pass, he knew that was going in from Kernish Drew.
Yep. Mike Rose slices and dices his way to the basket for 2. Were you going to call him Trevor Barker there?
Yeah, no, I was going to call him Trent Barker. I don't even know where that came from, but...
Nice kick ahead in transition. They've got to slow Lucas Barker down here in this backcourt. They've really got to get up on him. And, you know, I'd like to see guys like Marshall and Munier and West in at certain points to really get in and pester the crap out of him. He can't have free reign. That's like, you know, that's the equivalent of giving a quarterback an uncontested, 60-footer down the floor. It's,
you know, Barker's averaging 15.2 points a game. And he's also shooting beyond the arc at 40%. So, Knox are going to really have their work cut out for him tonight.
Mosby can't get it to go from downtown, and Lang cleans up the glass. Mike Rose passed up an open one there. He's playing really well.
50-point weekend, Ducky.
Yeah, coming off a 34er or something down at Frankston. In the blowout loss down there at Frankston as Barker connects for 3, but Mike Rose can't pass those shots up.
No.
He's got to be aggressive and he's got to be confident, and he's got to go at this Dandenong defense. Curtis Drew's got some length. He's a big guard in that backcourt, so I'm impressed by 3 straight touches for Cedarian Rains.
Yeah, Cedarian looks lively early, doesn't he?
Yeah. Grand extra. Another touch for big fella. Spinning baseline. And he's making a mockery of my highlight reel at the moment.
Dandenong are out here, 11-4. 7 left in the first.
Froling, transition triple.
Easy as you like. Cedarian probably doesn't want to just stand there and watch him. He needs to get a hand out to that, because that's going to hurt Knox all night if he allows that to take place.
In true Coach McDonald form, he has not moved. Likes to let his boys sort their crap out. As Thosby comes and gets it off Grant's handoff. He's 6 now. 4 on the shot clock. Thosby's got to get busy. Doesn't like that one. Baseline jump shot. Barker in transition again. Kernish Drew. Hands. Barker feeling it. Heat check yourself, son. Damon Hire in transition. Kenyon does a great job getting back. Yeah, it was
really good D just to slow him up. Protected the basket and slowed him up.
That's an 18-year-old athlete. He has to make sure he gets back and controls Hire in transition. And the same being said for Knox Raiders when they come in. They've really got to come in and take care of Lucas Barker in that backcourt. Another really good find. Dandenong cooking early. And finally, Coach McDonald gets up and says, time out, please, I want to sort this out.
He's seen enough.
Yeah.
16-6, 5:52 left.
This is a real habit for Knox Raiders, getting themselves into a little bit of a hole early and then digging themselves out.
Dandenong look clinical, Ducky.
Yeah. These slow starts, I can't see a reason for it. Coach McDonald, you can't see him there in your screen, but he's really animated Barker, and he's moving side to side. He's almost imploring his team to bump cutters or something, and really get after this Dandenong side, who we know Coach Perry teams are really clinical in what they do and what they run. So this is going to be a real test for them now in the second half of this first quarter to see how well they bounce back.
Yeah, Froling's already had 8, Ducky. Dandenong are just controlling it. They're just doing it as they like. They're getting it through hands. They're running their sets. They're just looking polished early on in the game. Knox need to get disruptive. They need to really get after them, make it uncomfortable for them, see if they can take away their natural game, because Dandenong are just doing as they please at the moment.
Teams are doing this a lot to the Knox Raiders now, and really trying to force them indecision. Thosby has got 10. He's got to get going now. Mike Rose, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Nice in range, mid-range game. No good. Grant keeps it alive, but only as far as the out-of-bounds line. And it's a Rangers ball. Another empty trip for the Raiders. Ball goes through hands. Kenyon to Froling. 19 feet from the basket. Attacks. Rains. Can't find it. Good closeout, Thosby. Lang
Saw the mismatch there with Simon Grant. And look, Simon Grant's still 6'4", Ducky?
Yeah,
even bigger.
6'5"-ish.
Yeah, but just a nice little lob pass.
Yeah. This is a really good game plan here from Darren Perry. Force Hire to get the ball out of his hands in the backcourt as Thosby dials one in from three-point land. Force the ball out of Hire's hands in the backcourt, but then don't allow him to get it back. You know, and just Kenyon's got the job on him when he goes forward.
Yeah, give him that first pass, just to open up, allow that first pass, and then into full denial.
Exactly.
Deny it back.
Let him release the ball, and then once he's done it, he can't hurt us. As we have some substitutions. Kelly LePepe, man-child, has checked in. He's an enormous human. Have a look at him. He's checked in with Poch. So a couple of products of the Youth League team and the Dandenong Juniors have checked in for them for their first minutes. Reigns through hands. Thosby attacks Poch and gets on the scoreboard. Nice bucket, Adam Thosby. And cuts the lead back to 10, 18-8. A bit of action on the Raiders bench. Aiden Yock about to check in. Froling. It's Poch, and Raiders defense forces a turnover. Hire's got it. No impact yet for Damon as he punches the D there. Can't get two.
He hasn't scored yet, Hire. 2 rebounds, but hasn't scored yet. Barker says, I'll show you the way home, make it my own. You open up that little gap and I don't need much, I'll take it, he says.
Yeah, you're going to have to guard me because I can impact this contest. And Thosby, empty trip, wanted a foul call, didn't get one. Poch in transition, likes the 2 and the foul.
Now 7 assists for Dandenong already, Ducky. 6 rebounds, Knox have got 3. Turnovers, 2 to Dandenong, none for Knox.
Now look at Dandenong's group, and you know, and they've turned a few bodies over the last couple of seasons playing in Siebel. But the guys that they've brought in are products of their juniors. You know, more minutes for Brian Dolo. You know, Marley's been a really good, you know, asset for him this year. He's playing at about 14 minutes a game as Casey Marshall's checked in for the Raiders. Reigns wants it. Double down. Marshall, open 3. Needs to knock it in and does.
Home crowd like that one, Ducky.
Yeah.
Speaking of local products from the juniors, Casey Marshall.
Yeah, that's my son's favourite player, so he'll like that one.
Big screen there from Ducky.
Would you run into one?
No way. I felt that from here, mate. My teeth are chattering just watching it.
Dials in a triple. So Marshall in now with Hire in the backcourt. Aiden Yock is also subbed in. Tyler Robertson with the job on Hire. Rose needs to dial in the 3. Can't get it. Barker ahead to Robertson in transition. Extra pass. Poch likes that spot. Rebound Reigns and running. Hire attacking Froling. Hits Marshall. Run off the 3 by Barker. Aiden Yock active on the glass. Can't get a tip.
Lucky to get away with that, Dandenong. Nice little fake in the corner there for Marshall. Got, I think it was Barker up in the air and floated in go.
Mike Rose really overplaying Lucas Barker's left hand as Poch gets a give and go with Abe Nyock, and he's pinged for a foul. Little huddle. And we have a time out to someone.
Dandenong shooting at 83% early. 10 from 12 from the field, whereas Knox a more typical rate, 5 from 14 at 35%.
Yeah, it's a real big difference, you know. Like if you look down the page, to the points in the paint.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dandenong's had Barker's made a triple, and Lepepe's made a triple, etc. But if you get down to the points in the paint, Dandenong are efficient when they're running this stuff, and they've had give and goes and back cuts and so on.
And Lucas Barker, 5 assists. I mean, he gets the ball in his hands, and you want to get on the end of it because he's going to hit you when you're in a good spot.
That's exactly right. 26-11 with 2 minutes and change to play here in the first quarter with Poch at the line. Got a bit of fancy gear going on. Josh Oswald has checked in for the Rangers along with Declan Sukup. Josh Oswald, the sort of bloke I'd like to run into on a dark night, and Tyler Robertson, yeah.
So Dandenong using their bench, so they are pretty deep from the bench, aren't they? Getting minutes into giving them a few rotations early. They play such a quick game style that I'm not surprised they need to get the rotations up.
Jordan Adnan has come in for the Raiders. So Marshall at the 1 now. Higher out. Having a rest, and Mike Rose charged with the play calling duties. Wants an on ball from big fella. Attacks it, punches it, and gets to the cup for 2. A nice aggressive play there from Mike Rose. Want to see that a bit more.
26-13.
Sukup, high handoff. Lepepe, Josh Oswald open.
Oh, lovely cut down the middle.
Yeah.
28-13.
Can't lose sight of guys. And bumping cutters is a really important aspect of this level of basketball, and it needs to happen a bit more. Rose through hands, Knock, Marshall.
Just those little slight defensive lapses in concentration, Ducky. 2 on the clock.
Rose got to get it off. Adnam heaves it up.
Well, that'll be 2 shots. They're in the bonus.
Personal fouls on Abe Knock. Simon Grant comes in, and Rains goes to the bench.
2 points for Rains, 2 rebounds.
He's had plenty of touches, though. I like the fact that he's getting touches. Dabo, it's important that they go inside, outside. Rose and Thosby will get better looks. Marshall will get a couple of looks, from the ball going inside and there being movement off that.
Yeah, I don't think Rains is too far away from just absolutely lighting it up and just tearing a game apart. I don't know if we've seen him do that quite this season, but I think as he adjusts to this competition and the different refereeing calls and that he's not particularly used to, it can't be too far away, Ducky.
Mike Rose with the sticky handle hits Simon Grant, and Knox continue to go dry from the field. 6 of 20 now. Sukup, nice read, changes hands, can't get it. Full court man. Dandenong making Knox work really hard for every possession here, Damien.
Mike Rose going to go for the last shot. 10 on the clock, 8 on the shot clock, 10 on the game clock.
There's about a 1.5 second difference as Adnam to Rose punches the D. Can't get it off. Marshall makes it, but it's no good. And there's 1.4 difference. Here she comes, mate.
Lucy Dawson approaching. Veteran.
She wants a drink. And that'll do us for quarter number 1 here at State Basketball Centre. NBL1 men's action.
Ducky, I suggest you turn that down because the player you call a veteran for the last game Lucy Dawson has just appeared, and I don't think the public need to hear what's about to happen.
Yeah, all right. All right, so my shout next time, apparently, with Lucy Dawson.
Wowee, Ducky. That was, wowee. That was uncomfortable to watch. You know what? Veteran, I don't know. I take her point, you know.
That was shout me a beer at your earliest convenience, Duckman.
Uncomfortable, awkward.
Yeah.
Back to business here, Ducky.
Speaking of awkward, it's a comfortable lead for the Dandenong Rangers here as they start the second quarter with possession of the basketball. 30-13 is the scoreboard. And it's a team effort from the Dandenong Rangers, led by Samson Follings, 8 points at quarter time as he tries to dial in a triple.
Too easy with the board there over Adnam.
Gang rebound.
I know the man's probably got about 20 kilos on him, but...
As Kernich Drew looks for separation, can't get it. Simon Grant turns the ball
idea,
over.
But...
Yep. Knox eventually come up with the basketball. Transition. Marshall. Grant wants it. No good. Finally get one for higher. Settles.
Yeah, that's his first points for the game, I think, Ducky.
And it's no secret that Lucas Barker is not on the floor at the moment.
Yeah. Points don't count because it didn't go in. That's why they don't count for a start. You know, sometimes you just start speaking and you might think about something else for a second and then you think, oh, hang on, did I just say that?
Yep.
So Frolling's up to 8. Kenyon's on 2. Lang's on 2. Kernish Drew's on 3.
Yeah, it's a good spread, really, isn't it? As Sukup makes the first. And makes the second. Casey Marshall charged with the playmaking duties for the Knox Raiders. Waves off Jordan Adnam. Comes back to Simon Grant. Looking for some motion action here as they want Reigns. They find higher on the 3.
Yeah, nice.
Deep 2, apparently toe on the line. They're patient offense from the Knox Raiders there, and I don't mind that. I mean, you've got to fight your way back into the game. You've got to work hard for your baskets. You need to be patient and make sure the right man's taking the right shot.
Yeah, get the ball in the right hands. Damon Hire at the moment.
Yep.
You know, he's got 4 points this quarter. A lovely cut through the middle again. Just attack that with emphasis.
Yeah, Matt Kenyon. High on ball. Sukup wants it. Finds Lang. Got the range, the big fella.
Simon Grant, big on the boards.
Adnan pushes the tempo. Wants it. I'm not too sure what his idea was there, but that's really good defense from Hire. Did enough to impede the progression of Dexter Kernish-Drew without fouling. And as you can see there, if you actually go back on that, had his hands clear.
Yeah.
You know, the minute you drop your hands, you're into foul territory.
Yeah, the ref's expecting to call a foul there if you give him a reason, but like you said, he kept his hands well out.
Lucas Barker back in for the Rangers.
Quick ball movement.
Kernish-Drew is looking for 3 at the moment and finding about 2.35. And he's to elevate a little bit higher with his jump shot.
Jump ball, Knox possession.
We have a jump ball and it's a Raiders possession. I want to give a shout out to the little floor wipers here, Damo. They've got the nice big Milo brooms going on and so on. You been to Southern?
Yeah, mate, I saw a kid there with a hand towel, and without a word of a lie, that kid would have went home and slept for 20 hours. He worked that hard, one up, either end of the floor, Ducky.
He's a ripper lad too, isn't he? He just, you know, he smiles and he's really happy to do it. I don't know the young fella's name, but he's an absolute little beauty as Hire comes up
and
short.
You know what, mate? He strikes me as a kid that if you said you'd help him, he'd say, no, I've got this, I'm right.
Yeah.
Whereas here at Knox, we roll out 20 of these kids and
they fight over it most weeks, don't they?
They do a good job.
Yeah.
And they get a great seat, best seat in the house. Down there courtside.
That's it. Throwing. Marshall with the job on Barker as Lang makes nice position deep. Can't get it. Rebound Thosby. And we're underway again. Raiders trying to claw their way back into this one. Need a bucket. Higher.
32-17.
Playmaking duties. Can't get it. Simon Grant's being aggressive.
Yeah, he is. That's a good pass.
Oh. And that is pass interference on Adam Thosby.
Yeah. Baseline ball.
Second one on Thosby. Knox are in foul trouble again too. This is...
Dandenong haven't had one foul.
No, we touch on this though every week, you know, like it's really important that Knox is staying out of foul trouble. A, you're getting the penalty early in quarters, but B, when you've got to play your guys longer, for longer. When you've got to play your guys for longer,
yeah,
fatigue sets in, etc. You really want them on the floor when you need to be. And
well, at least as a coach, you want to have that option.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's not your night, maybe I'll sit you, but at least give me the option. I don't want you in 3 or 4, particularly early. Certainly don't want you in a couple of quick, those crappy fouls, I'd call them, Ducky.
Yeah, the cheap ones. Marshall in motion. Ball's with him. Thosby comes off. Double action. Matt Kenyon.
I'm not sure how you stopped that, Simon.
My mum calls me Simon Damien, so what did I do to get in trouble?
I wanted to emphasise the speed that he just attacked that basket as he just runs himself almost into the toilet area of Knox as he just jumps the fence.
Matt Kenyon was like that's an offensive foul on Sam Froling. Can't extend outside your cylinder with your arm, young fella. And that'll be his first personal, Dandenong's first personal for the entire night. Matt Kenyon was like a Maserati being opened up for the first time on the Autobahn there. And he just put his foot straight to the floor and just went, there's a gap, and I'm just going to go there.
You know, why would you buy a Maserati in Melbourne, Ducky? If you sit on the Monash Freeway every morning heading to work, you might get it to about 18 kilometres an hour if you're lucky.
As Hire attacks the basket and gets the foul call. I wouldn't buy a Maserati in Melbourne. A, I can't afford it. B, I'd want to have really warm seats.
Yeah.
Damon High, good aggressive attack on the basket. He's really important.
Yeah, and he stepped up in this second quarter. He was quiet in the first quarter, I thought. 4 points for this quarter and make that 5.
Moved him off the ball carrier duty, so Casey Marshall came in and did a really good job of running the point guard spot for a while with Damon at the 2. And he gets both free throws, so the lead stays at 15. Josh Oswald in the backcourt with Lucas Barker, Poch, Matt Kenyon, and Kelly LePepe. Poch. Aggressive. And they just have no fear.
He could have dunked that.
I'm just about positive he could have.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't.
No.
But they look really comfortable. This is a really, it's a homegrown lineup now.
And it's a balanced lineup, isn't it? You know, they're just balanced, they're solid, they've got options.
Kenyon. Grant forced to shoot. Big fella working his backside off on the glass.
Yeah, look, I thought LePepe had him there. I thought he pushed him under the basket far enough. But to Sedarian's credit, he sort of worked hard and fought back and got the nice tip in.
How many protein shakes a week for Kelly LePepe, you reckon?
No, he'd be all natural, mate.
Really?
Yeah. He probably doesn't even go to the gym. Probably doesn't even lift, mate.
He is in ridiculous shape. Mike Rose on the double down. Finds it.
He is coming off a 50-point weekend, Ducky.
Yeah, he's in a bit of touch, you know, and he's finding some confidence back, and Knox in that rotating man-to-man as Poch tries to get one. Rose gets it. Thosby wants it.
D-Mac was going bananas on the bench.
Kicked the ball
crazy.
Ahead.
Yeah, he wanted that ball moved ahead, quick transition.
Yeah. Rose, aggressive, dials in another 3. Back-to-back triples for Mike Rose. And the confidence is starting to exude from that man.
Coach Perry looking like he's setting up for a timeout here.
Yeah. LePepe, muscle basket, down low for 2.
38-27. It's a good couple of minutes by Knox. Helps when Mike Rose hits 2 triples in about 1 minute.
That's a foul for mine. Grant finds Thosby open on the corner. Ball goes inside, outside.
Timeout for Perry.
And it's much better. Ball movement. It was fantastic. Timeout. Dandenong, and Darren Perry doesn't like what he sees here all of a sudden.
38-30. You know, get the ball in the right hands. Exactly what Knox have done. We've gone splash, Rose, splash, Thosby.
Yep.
Does that rhyme?
This song does. 4 of 14 Knox are now from the 3-point line. And, you know, they've made their last 3. So 1 of 11 before that, you know, and they're contested. They're really contested. You move the ball from side to side, make the defense have to react and play hard. All right, and you're going to find open people in spots. And it's no secret, Hire gets into the paint. They find it. Rose dialed in one off a really nice pick and roll. He dialed in another one off a double down where Raines found him on the wing. It was really good ball movement basketball, and it's what Dandenong were doing to us in the first quarter. And Knox are now doing it a little bit back the other way.
And, you know, Mike Rose last weekend, he hit 8 triples, Ducky, so he is hot. Damon Higher, a little bit quiet in the first quarter, has come into it in the second quarter. Damon's high game will keep building. You know, Knox early on, 5 minutes ago, I was thinking, how far, Ducky? Now I'm thinking, if Knox keep playing like this, they're going to give Dandenong a fright. Dandenong are going to have to step up and show us what they're about, because Knox are coming.
Just chip away at it, possession after possession after possession. Now, these bad starts are something that the coaching staff at Knox really need to address, though, because it's happening on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Barker left unattended. And Malik Munier from behind, I believe, with the foul. No, on Raines. Malik, if you listen to this during the week, when you are in that vicinity, put your hand up and claim that one. You've got to protect your big guy. He can't get in foul trouble. That's 2 on him now, especially with no Hunter here.
Yeah, Hunter is averaging 14.3 points a game, and importantly, he's averaging 6 boards as well a game. So he is a big loss against some of these bigger Dandenong bodies like Lang and.
Yeah.
9-point game.
Zone action here. A bit of 1-3-1 action as Kernage Drew gets his hand on it.
11 on the clock.
I don't mind this 1-3-1 zone. It's really, you've got athletes here. Oswald's guarding the basket, but you've got Robertson, who's long on the wing, and Dexter Kernage Drew, who is deceptively long. Rose again, attempts 3, heat check. Can't get that one to go. Needed a basket there, Knox. Oswald likes the matchup with Thosby. Backs his way to the basket.
Yeah, nice strong play. He's a big unit, isn't he?
He is a barrel-chested young man, isn't he? A bit like myself, Damo. Barrel-headed. More like it. Reigns, get up and throw it down, and 7. Thosby, short. No confidence at all in that one. That looked like it was going to be short. Rose, active hands, can't get it.
Well done.
Yeah, ahead to Rose. Finger roll. We wanted a little bit of razzle there, and all we got was dazzle.
Well, I wanted Sedarian Reigns to sprint the floor, alley-oop. Didn't happen.
Get on the highlight reel. Drew to Lang. Pops hard.
Nice hand in there.
Dandenong like this matchup with Oswald and Thosby guarding him at the moment. You've looked for it 2 possessions in a row.
Nine-point game.
Under a minute to play in the second quarter. Kernage Drew. Zone look from the Raiders as Oswald looks to attack Reigns. He does well not to pick up a personal and off hands.
Good little ball movement inside there from Dandenong. Quick hands, quick reflexes. 14 on the clock. 43 left on the game clock.
Barker inbounds. Gets it back. Oswald pick and roll. Tyler Robertson. Australian under-19 squad member Tyler Robertson. I'm going to Google whether or not he's in the team or not.
Averaging 8.4 points a game.
He's a very, very good talent.
Does shoot from the outside. Shooting at 34%.
Bit of indecision here from the Raiders. Thosby aggressively attacks the paint. Fades away from the basket, can't get it. Reigns likes what he sees, and Thosby goes up. Can't get the 2, and that's going to be a personal foul for an overtly aggressive box out on Tim Lang. It's a baseline ball. 5 seconds to play in the half for the Raiders.
Timeout.
Coach Mack wants a timeout.
What's he going to set up for here, Ducky?
Something to do with Mike Rose, I reckon. See
the
if he can't get
triple
that,
or the 2?
see if he can't get that hand a little bit hot again. But
I say go the triple.
yeah,
You're down by 12.
You'll never die wondering.
No, you're down by 12. Set up for a triple. If I'm Dandenong, I'm going to be all over Mike Rose. Going to be all over Thosby.
What did Cam Luke say last week? A pass you make's a shot you don't take, or something like that. This isn't like this. This again, like you hit a 3 here, you get your lead under 10.
Go in with some momentum.
Takes a bit of momentum, and
crowd go nuts.
Exactly.
High fives all round.
But you're only down 10, whereas you're down 17 at the end of the first.
Yeah.
And you've chipped away at it, and you've done the right thing.
But I think also Knox have really, they've looked at a different side this second quarter. Played with a lot more intensity.
Rose, the dummy. It's higher. Charged with it. Gets it. Catches. Reigns. No good. And that'll do us to half-time here. NBL1 Saturday night action. You can check us out live on the YouTube channel of the NBL1. We're here at State Basketball Centre. It's local rivals in the NBL1. The Dandenong Rangers on 44 points and the Knox Raiders on 32. Leading the way for both teams. Mike Rose has 12 points and cooked a little bit there in the second quarter. The Sedarian Reigns leads with 5 rebounds. Sam Froling had 8 points in the first quarter, and he's got 8 points still at the half to lead Dandenong's scorers. Poch has 7 off the bench, and Lucas Barker with 5. Tell us why there's a big discrepancy in this game at the moment, Damo, please, if you can.
Ducky, the stats do not lie. Dandenong shooting from the field at 51%, Knox are at 34%. Knox have actually put more shots up, 38. Dandy have put up 31 points. Going through some of the other stats, the boards, Dandenong are winning the boards by 5. 13 assists to Dandenong, and going down some of the other stats. Points in the paint, Dandenong, 22 points in the paint, and Dandenong have got 21 points off the bench compared to Knox, 3 points off the bench.
That's really impressive stat, isn't it? 21 points off the bench, you know, out of 44 for your half here. Most teams are craving a half of that, you know, for a whole production, and at the moment they've got 21. So we'll be back with the second half live from the State Basketball Centre in about 5 minutes. Back with the second half live from the State Basketball Centre, NBL1, live on YouTube. This is a big double for the Knox Raiders tonight as the Dandenong Rangers are in town, and it's a 12-point lead to the the Dandenong Rangers men at halftime. Tail the tape, Damo.
I'll pose a question, Ducky. Is in the last 20 minutes of this game Knox's season on the line? They're currently sitting at 14th on the ladder. Yeah, 4 and 6. They got Kilsyth. They got a week off next week. They've then got Kilsyth, who we know how good. Well, Kilsyth were actually one of the predictions to win the championship, but they're sitting on 6th in 2 weeks' time, and they got Eltham, who are on the bottom, double-header weekend. So I say it's an important 20 minutes, Ducky. It's
a really important 20 minutes. If they fall away from, I was having a look, Ballarat at the top of the ladder, and then Nunawading and Melbourne and Geelong at the top in the top 4. But after that, it's a really tight tussle, and you can't fall away from either of those. So you go to 4 and 7, it makes it really hard, especially with a couple of big doubles coming up as well.
Yeah.
Thosby
see what they're about.
Thosby locked in on Kenyon off the double down. Barker and Lang. Lang, baseline jumper. No good. Empty trip for the Dandenong Rangers to start this one. Mike Rose with the playmaking duties for Knox Raiders. Likes his matchup with Kenyon. Kenyon liked it a little better.
Yeah, he did. And quick transition out there. Oh, Simon Grant again. Two big plays, big defensive board from Simon Grant. Steal then.
Sir Darian Rains. Massive two-hander in transition. Get me on the highlight reel, he says.
Crowd loved it, Ducky. We loved it. I'm not sure if the rim loved it because it looked like it was under a fair bit of pressure. But monstrous.
Big two-hander. Get the crowd involved, big fella. Way to get it done. Really impressive play there from Simon Grant, though, to get back on defense, shut Kenyon down, and then lead the break. He made that pass.
That man then, yeah.
Adam Thosby, he's been back cut about 3 times tonight. And Coach McDonald rightly shaking his head.
Off the pick and roll.
Yeah, nice. Good deep catch action there for big fella.
Ooh, just popped in and had a look and then popped out.
Wiped its feet. The old man used to say that on the pool table. Wiped its feet.
10 points.
Need a big play here. Rains. One out with Lang. Coach Perry getting a touch there. It's pretty sharp back in the day, old DP, of course. Member of the Southeast Melbourne Magic teams.
2 on the clock. Oh, on the buzzer. I'm not sure if Adam Thosby was aware of the shot then initially until the bench started screaming out.
Good defensive play there from Hire to stand in front of Froling.
7 points in it. Important couple of minutes coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
Damon Hire's been quiet by his standards the last few games.
Thosby, Grant through hands, up fakes, hits Rains, gets 2, the lead's 5. A little bit of a momentum shift here now for the Raiders, 46-41. Lead is back into a couple of possessions. Damon Hire goes under the pick. Froling hardly had a touch since quarter time. Barker. Oh, milked that one, I thought.
Yeah, Damon Hire thought so too, pleading his case. He's on 3, Damon higher, so... Coach McDonald leaving him in the game.
Yeah, he's important. You've got to leave him in the game now.
Particularly at this stage, you've got some momentum going.
Absolutely.
He's a smart player. He knows how to stay out of foul trouble, you'd hope.
Just hope he doesn't get a stray one or...
Yeah, it's going to make us look silly. Ducky, you'll get a foul in the next 20 seconds here in the back court.
Doesn't take much for him to make us look silly. I want to give a shout out to Lucy Dawson. I know she came up here and we had a bit of a giggle with us, but she was really complimentary of the work that we do here. It's basically just two old blokes having a laugh and a bit of a giggle in it. So she was really complimentary. So thanks, Lucy. Hope you get a text message about that one. As Adam Thosby splashes a corner 3, he's got back-to-back triples. The 3 in the game. Kernish Drew goes looking for the answer. They're going to dive on those loose balls.
Yeah, I was just thinking, David and I was just sort of looking at it. We needed, Knox needed that 4 points in it. 6 on the clock. Oh, that's got to be something. Yeah, it's a charge. Yeah. Momentum shift, Ducky.
Yep. Trevor's cousin, Lucas, just didn't like what he saw in his way there. And, barreled his way to the basket, and
Dandenong make 3 substitutions, trying to mix it up.
Yep. Poch. Oswald, LePepe, and Tyler Robertson. Of course, Robertson and LePepe, both members of the Australian under 19 EMU squad. There's a lot of Victorians in that group, so Mike Rose, corner 3 on the way, no good.
Very important offensive board, reset, 12 on the clock.
Thosby.
Oh, Sedarian!
Wowee! Sedarian Rains with 2 hands, cocks it back and throws down a massive tip jam. Cuts the lead to 2.
Wowee!
I'm going to get out of my seat if he does that again. That's impressive.
If he keeps doing this joint will be packed.
Yeah,
exactly
absolutely.
What we need to see.
Yeah. Oswald, baseline, jump shot. Dried up a little bit for Dandenong. Referee Chapman picks out a little bit there, and the foul's on Tyler Robertson, maybe?
Knox have really unsettled Dandenong, and it's bit of discussion amongst players, bit of discussion with the referees. Just need to settle Dandenong.
Perry's got the hand on the hips. Have a look at him. He's less than impressed. Mike Rose, triple.
That will be a timeout very soon for Dandenong, I would expect. And there it is now. Coach Perry has stormed off at a rapid rate of knots. He hasn't liked what he's seen, and rightly so. Knox are up by 1.
A really big run here from the Knox Raiders. This is a real shift in momentum in this building. You can feel it. And to be honest, Damien, it started down at this end where they're playing defense. They're getting their hands on balls, they're rebounding, they're forcing guys who aren't usually big scorers to try to beat them. They're getting the ball out of Barker's hand. He's getting frustrated. And Dandenong is sitting on the bench now with, Kenyon out, Frolling's on the bench. They need to find a way to get a bucket here.
You know what? Mike Rose now up to 15 points. Sedarian Rains, 12 points. But the thing with those 2 massive jams of Sedarian Rains is it's not just the points he scores, but it's the enthusiasm that it brings to the group, Ducky. It lifts everyone. It lifts the crowd. Knox start to believe in themselves. And for the last 5.5 minutes or 5 minutes, Knox have played with real belief, and Dandenong have panicked.
Very easy to do when momentum shifts your way. No change. Barker charged with the duties. Coach Perry imploring his team to get him a bucket. Extended defense now from the Raiders. Barker slows the tempo. Robertson, it's in Lepepe's hands. Robertson again. Likes the look of a three.
That's his second triple. Looked really good.
The thing with both the triples, though, is it's unchallenged.
Yeah.
Respect these guys. This guy's playing in the Australian junior side.
Yeah.
He's a Mike Rose.
Wow.
Knox Raiders lead it back. There's a bit of activity on the Knox bench. They like that one. He likes that spot. Basically imploring. That's 4.
He's 4 on higher.
Yeah. Big call.
Well, he lasted a couple more minutes, Stucky, then
we had it pegged anyway.
Yeah.
So we only got a little bit of egg on our face.
Yeah.
Again, line change for the Dandenong Rangers.
3 more subs out.
Yeah.
Really mixing things up, and I think they have to.
Yeah, you got to find a groove. You
Knox are up by 1.
Got to find 5 guys that are going to play for you and execute what you want and play defense. And if it's not working, keep rotating it until you do find 5. Casey Marshall comes up with a rebound for the Raiders. He's outrunning Thosby. I'd like to see Adam pull up and shoot that one in transition. Rains goes looking for him. He's run off the 3 by Oswald.
7 on the clock.
Thosby, good movement. Ball is wet from downtown. Adam Thosby is cooking.
Knox by 4.
And the best thing is he brought his sous chef Mike Rose with him as well. And this is starting to be really good. Froling pleading his case.
You know what? The shift in this quarter has been really good to watch. Knox have gone from a team at quarter time who look like, well, we may as well go home now, to now in this third quarter, just playing with passion, enthusiasm, aggression. It looks like it means something to them.
Yeah. Marshall, hands with Rose, wants an on ball. Calls the big fella out. Grant up and under. Nice move. Simon Grant up and under. 6-point lead for the Knox Raiders now, 57-51, and Robertson throws it away.
And then, down the Knox's offensive end, I think it was Froling there, just overplayed. Mike Rose got him off his feet because they've got to go out to Mike Rose. He's shooting on fire. Absolutely. And then they took advantage, little dump inside to Simon Grant. He's
making really smart basketball plays now, Mike Rose. It's a change for Mike Rose from the guy that we saw at the start of the year who was struggling with good defenders and so on and really trying to force the issue. Matt Kenyon on him now. Rose has turned facilitator a little bit. Grant from downtown. Simon Grant has the last 5 for the Raiders. And it's a 9-point lead all of a sudden, 60-51. The swarming defenses, Dandenong really, Oswald trying to muscle bucket one, can't get it.
Simon Grant from foul.
This swarming, rotating defense from Knox has Dandenong a little bit rushed and panicked, and Froling he's starting to get really agitated with a little bit of contact and so on. And
so Knox now are leading the boards by 2. They're shooting at 44%. Dandenong is shooting at 43%. Assists, Knox 13. Dandenong has still got them by 2 with 15 assists. But turnovers for Dandenong, 7 turnovers to 2 for Knox.
Yeah.
And those points in the paint, 24 each now. So Knox have been going inside. We've seen Sedarian with a couple of big jams. Simon Grant just down the other end before. And they're hitting it from the outside.
Extended defense again from Dandenong. Thosby run off the line. Sedarian got to take one more step inside there. He would have been found by Adam. 60-53. 7-point lead.
Mike Rose 18. Sedarian 12. Adam Thosby 14 for Knox.
Mike Rose looking catch and shoot. Can't get it. Rains, handoff with Rose. Kenyon Creates separation with Lang. Can't get it.
It was a tough shot over Lang there. He's a big man. Big hand up.
6'11", does not get any shorter the longer the game goes. And he has always been a big man, even when he was at Kilsyth. Oh, almost a good read by Marshall as Froling finally gets his first basket since the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, he's on 10 now, but you're right, he's been quiet, Ducky.
He had eight in the first to lead all scorers at quarter time.
Knox by 5.
It's good to see him fight through their smaller opponent, Simon Grant, as Marshall hits Rains, spinning in traffic. Lefty, can't get it. Wants the foul call. Doesn't get one.
Yeah, this is an important 1 minute 15 for Knox, just to hold Dandenong off here. Don't give away a couple of easy baskets like that.
Yeah.
You know,
really, real important quick hitter there. Dandenong come down, 8 seconds off the shot clock. There's a simple back screen action for Kernish Drew, and he was uncontested at the hole. Mike Rose.
Downtown Mike Rose. Wow. That's 21 points for Mike Rose.
He's come alive, Damo.
Mate, that is 71 points in 3 games.
Yeah.
And we've still got a quarter of basketball left.
Yep. Sukup. Matt Kenyon, uncontested, toes on the line for 2. It's a 4-point lead. Big possession now for the Knox Raiders. Bit of extended pressure here from Dandenong the last sort of last 90 seconds. And no real point guard with Hire on the bench, and Nugget, of course, injured. Why wouldn't you? Simon Grant finds Thosby. That is downtown Adam Thosby.
How many triples, Ducky, for Knox this quarter? I don't know. I'm going to have to look.
A lot.
That's so exciting. I don't want to look away to look at my stats. I'll have to wait another 5 seconds to quarter time.
Kernish Drew looks for the reply.
7 points to Knox at the 3-quarter time.
Wowee, 66 to 59, a 34-15 quarter for the Knox Raiders. Led by, I'm going to put this guy out there. He's not a guy that will feature heavily on the stats when you look down the box score, but Simon Grant has turned this game around with his defense and his passion. You can see him there in the huddle to the edge. You know, he's got his hands on his knees, and he's probably going to come out and have a bit of a breather here. But
his leadership and work ethic, Ducky, those 1%ers, but also getting those boards and lifting his teammates, the passion that he plays for, it's infectious.
Absolutely. 100%. And he's going to get a bit of a breather here, and looks like Abe Nyock's going to come back in, but he has changed the game a little bit. He's getting his hands on rebounds. Even if he's not getting the rebound, he's tapping it to somebody who can get it. He's been the last line of that zone defense. He's forced Oswald into some tough shots around the basket and Lang. And the one time they did get him one out was with Froling. Massive quarter for the Knox Raiders there, 34 to 15.
Well, we called it half-time, Ducky. Season on the line.
You said it was season-defining, and then you come out and you show everybody what we can do here, and it's really important. We've got to hold strong here and get this victory tonight now. They lead by 7 at 3-quarter time. Leading the way, Mike Rose has 21. Adam Thosby has 17. Cedarian Rains has 12. And leading the way for Dandenong, Sam Froling has 10 points. Matt Kenyon 8, and Poch has 7. Both teams tied field goal percentage, Damien. Knox shooting 46% from downtown, and we called it. They were 1 of 11, I reckon. Would that be right? 1 of 11, and then they were 4 of 14, and now they're 12 of 26. So they're 8 of their last 12.
How are we going for the beyond the arc there, Ducky? 12 from 26 at 46%.
Absolutely, yeah.
There would have been at least, 6 of those in that quarter?
Yeah, for sure. So when you're hitting the 3, it looks really good. Mike Rose with the playmaking duties. Matt Kenyon draped all over him. Abe Nyock in for the Knox Raiders. He's got a big job. Sam Froling guarding him. Inside to Reigns. Go to work, big man.
Ooh. You know, those people at home, Ducky, that aren't here to experience this, yeah, it's great to listen to you and I. I mean, who wouldn't want to listen to you and I get it. However, come down here and watch this, folks. Be here in 2 weeks' time when we play Eltham. This is a great place to be. The atmosphere is electric tonight. The crowd's going crazy. The music's pumping. And Sam Froling's dunking.
Yeah, we don't want him to do that too much. We do like him doing that because it's good for basketball.
Did you hear that, Ryan?
What's
the
that? Music's
pumping and Sam Froling's dunking.
You're a poet and you don't know it, Tomo. You can rhyme anytime. Thosby, run off the three, attacks aggressively, can't get it. Oh, gets his own rebound, sticks it back up. Kernish Drew says, not
get
in
that
my
out
house.
Of here, yeah.
Yep. Mike Rose high on ball with Knox. They double it. Mike Rose barking instructions as Matt Kenyon gets a piece of that. Rose got to get it up. Battles hard, gets his own rebound.
14 on the clock, had time to kick it out for the reset there.
Nice battle inside by Abe Knock. Doing the cleanup work. Yeah, a couple of maybe indifferent decisions.
Yeah, 5 on the, 5 points. 5 point lead to Knox. Knox bench up and about.
Abe Knock at the line, shooting the free throws.
You've seen him more than me, Ducky. These in?
Nah.
No, he's one in at least.
He's a great kid, and he'll curse me out for saying he probably
Stats
won't
don't
make
lie,
most of
Ducky.
it.
60% he shoots at.
Nah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Ducky. This one's in.
I could be a really poor man after this weekend. I owe Lucy Dawson a drink.
This one is in.
I owe Abe Knock a drink.
Yes. 50-50.
No, why am I cheering? Get him in, Abe. Practice your free throws. Really important skill. Still extended 2-3 zone from Knox Raiders, getting a hand to most things, leaving Lang alone. Kenyon aggressive.
Yeah,
Marshall.
good defensive set by Knox. You can hear the talk from up here, Ducky. The enthusiasm in their defense, and they caused the turnover.
Yeah, Knock wants it inside. He feels like he's got a mismatch. Reigns for 3. Makes him in warm-up. That's a free kick, umpire, taking the legs out.
Yeah, that's almost, that was good effort, though, in terms of tried hard, didn't come off. He makes his limited minutes worth it, Abe Knock, doesn't he?
Well, that's an important message. You know, you come in, and whether you play 90 seconds or whether you play, 90 minutes of a contest or whatever it is, you make do with what you've got, and you bust your backside for your teammates. An important lesson there for most kids. Do the right thing. Kenyon.
Good board by Mike Rose.
Yeah,
important there.
1 on 2 there, uncontested.
They both went to cover that shot. That was the issue.
Yeah. Thosby slows it up. On ball with Reigns. Rant. Kernish Drew. Lefty layup with the steal. Mike Rose. Reigns conscious there. Maybe 2 Reigns conscious.
Yeah. And Reigns, just experience, just saying, just settle down. Let's just settle. We've got this. There's 7 minutes left. Plenty of basketball. We're 4 points up. Let's just get the ball through some hands. Let's just stick that's worked for us in the third quarter. Just looking for that right shot.
Important message. We have a charge call, do we? Yeah, we do. No foul trouble there for Rose, so that's just his first.
So when's Damon Hyatt come back into the game? Oh, here we go. Just as Ducky, I could say I called that. But when I saw D-Mac lean over and talk to him. So,
Basketball Jones in the background there, imploring the crowd to get behind the Knox Raiders here. They're going to stop Declan Sukup. Barker, Kernish Drew, corner three has been off to this point and finally gets one to go.
Yeah, Kernish Drew, he hit 5 triples last Sunday, so nice shot. Knox going to guard him closely, only 1 point in it now.
Raines likes the face-up, that's what he wants. Works his way hard to the basket for 2. Impressive finish with the left over the outstretched arm of Lang.
Sedarian up to 14.
I feel he's got to get a lot of touches here now. Him and Mike Rose have...
Mismatch there with Frolling and Aya.
Lang went after it, wants the foul call. 5-on-3 if they want it. Knox. Damon Hire pushes aggressively, gets to the basket for 2. Restores a 5-point advantage for the Raiders.
Mike Rose gets ready to check back into the game. Oh, that was stiff, Simon Grant. Damon Hire was off to the races there, and Dandenong ball from the baseline.
That call was so late, I reckon he made that in 2 weeks' time, Damo. But it was there. Barker into Frolling, Lang, and gets it back. Jeez, he works hard, Lucas Barker.
There's that man again.
Kernish Drew was 0 of 6 until his last 2 attempts.
2 triples in 2 minutes.
He's now 2 of 8. A player like that doesn't die wondering whether or not he's going to make a 3-ball. Rose attacks Kernish Drew. Handoff. Action with Raines.
Good hand in there from Sam Frolling.
Barker like a bullet at Gates. Attacks. Frolling gets 2.
71 apiece.
And we're tied. 5 minutes to play. Rose calls Grant out into Hire's hands. Wants Raines. Finds him. 5 seconds. 4, 3. Nice. Back to the basket move. Grant can't get the rebound.
They just isolated Big Sedarian there just for him to go one-on-one and almost came off.
It's important. It's what we said last week, Get it through hands, get him the ball a little bit. Lang spinning baseline. Tim Lang has had his last 2 attempts fruitless. Somebody back in for Marshall there. I missed that. Was that
I think it was Thosby back in.
Yeah. Sukup. 5 seconds. Got to go.
Kernish Drew here. Because of that. Oh, shot clock violation.
Wow. Big call. Did he get it off?
He was always going to shoot. I knew that much.
Oh.
That extra pass was always coming to him.
I don't reckon that. I would like to see that again.
Yeah.
Thosby, got to attack that on ball, mate. They're going to let you attack it.
He had that baseline open. If he hadn't crossed over and gone left, it was all his.
Grant. Oh, cheats the handoff. Good hand in there from Lucas Barker. Important deflection. 71s it stays at.
Don't get a stat for that, but they're those little important things, aren't they? We were talking about before.
Yeah. Sukup.
Oh.
Oh, what do we
Is
got
that
here?
Barker that's gone down?
It is, and he is shaking, and he is not well.
It looks like he has severely hurt his knee there. Hopefully it's not that bad, but he's just run straight to the bench. I didn't see if he landed awkwardly or the medical staff are around him as he lies down there. Was holding his left Looked like his left leg to me, left knee, Ducky. Hopefully he'll be okay, but
yeah, I hope he's all right because that was not good.
He knew he was in trouble. He sort of just made a beeline straight off the court.
Yeah, I'm going to try and have a look at this and just see what happened. And we don't ever want to see anybody getting hurt or anything like that. But
so while you look for that, Ducky, the score is 71 all here. There's 3:43 left. Just going through some of the stats here. Knox are shooting at 42%, Dandenong at 46%. Knox from outside is shooting at 43%. Dandenong shooting at 32% from beyond the arc. Scoring run Dandenong, last 5 points to Dandenong. Boards, Knox have got Dandenong by 3. Leading scorers, Mike Rose, 21 points. For Dandenong, Sam Froling, 14. Adam Thosby on 17. Snarian Rains on 14. Kernish Drew on 13. And Kenyon on 8 for Dandenong. Leading the board, Simon Grant and Snarian Rains with 7 apiece. Lang and Froling with 9 and 8 respectively. And assist leader is Barker with 8. As he's sitting up on the sidelines now. Got his left shoe off. I thought he might be holding his left ankle. Oh no, he's got his shoe still on. I thought he might have been holding his ankle there, Ducky. I sort of can't. Yeah, it looks like he's holding his left ankle to me. Not sure whether he's had trouble with his ankle before, but he's looking fairly dejected and upset as he sits down there on the sideline. The medical staff attending to him. Back underway here. Looks like there was an issue with the clock there perhaps, and we're going to have a reset here. This ball's going to come inbound from Simon Grant.
Shot clock down to 21, so 3:40 to play. Both teams on 71 points. Sook up on Thosby. Grant throwing all over him as Higher goes back door for 2.
Great little set Knox ran there out of that timeout.
Really
Knox
good
by
find.
2. 3:20 left. Important 3 minutes for Knox for their season, I would suggest. Shown some real spirit in this second half.
And Lucas has done a real ankle injury there by the looks of it. And there's a basket for Tim Lang.
And it's N1 by the looks.
You can see here, Damo, and if you go back just a fraction on your YouTube live stream, Barker, when he cuts the key here, he penetrates, and his left ankle.
Oh, just gave way, didn't it?
Yeah, he just overturned and sort of fell forward. So we wish Lucas Barker all the best. We hope he's okay.
He's sitting on the bench there. He's just stretching it out. Yeah, he's definitely feeling that left ankle. He's certainly not as distressed as he was, so he hasn't left the stadium or anything. He's just sitting there on the bench with a towel around him.
Yeah. Higher. Oh, and he just fouled out on a hooking call. Wowee. Chapman has called the last 2 offensive fouls on Damon Higher, so that one is a bit iffy.
So there's 1 point Dandenong's way, 2:49 on the clock.
Kids everywhere on their feet here. Knox Raiders, get behind your team. Froling pops out, wants the triple.
A foul on Simon Grant there, or was it on Mike Rose?
It's on Simon Grant, I reckon.
Yeah.
Trying to put Tim Lang in the DDT.
So they're in the bonus now. Dandenong are going to go to the line.
Yeah.
You know, Knox, foul trouble again, Ducky. You spoke about it early, mate. We're lots of fouls, and now we got, down the stretch, 2 minutes 37 left.
It's important, isn't it? Highers fouled out. Grant's got 4. Knox got 3, Rains has got 2, and you look down Dandenong's list, and Frolling's got 3, and there's only a 1 against about 4 other blokes. So defending without fouling is a real tough task, as Lang makes both. 76-73. Now Mike Rose charged with the play calling duties for the Knox Raiders. Wants Adam Thosby. Can't get him. Dandenong.
Oh, double dribble.
Yeah.
That was excellent defence, particularly Kenyon on Thosby there. The ball was to go to Thosby. Kenyon was just all over him, and Mike Rose double dribbled.
Yeah. Lang with Grant on him. Kenyon, Rose. They go inside to Frolling. He wants the match up with Rains. Likes it. Spins backwards. Can't get it. Lang comes up with the rebound. Kernish through.
Well, that'll be a Dandenong ball. Coach McDonald getting a stern talking to.
Wowee.
Dandenong argue it's their ball. I did think it was Dandenong's ball, but it's a Knox ball.
Simon Grant telling everybody what the business is.
Yeah.
76-73. 2 and change to play. In regulation, this has been a barn burner.
This game deserves overtime, Ducky.
No one wants overtime. I want Knox to win.
In overtime. Oh, Slarian sends him to the line.
Picks up a cheap one. Stop fouling, please.
That was always going to be a foul. He's sending him to the line.
Why? This Dandenong team had 31 at the quarter. You've held them to 44 in 3 quarters, and now you're just giving them cheap points. I don't understand the long fouls here. Coach
Although Sam Froling does shoot the free throw at 61%, so...
He didn't like that. He yelled as soon as he shot that one. Yep, makes it 4-point contest now. Mike Rose has got to take this game over. He did that against Diamond Valley last week. When they required poise, he gave it to them. Marshall in. Kernish Drew with the job on Rose. Thosby.
Tough shot. Boom. Wow. In Kenyon's face. That was a tough shot. That was a tough shot.
Marshall on Sukup. Need a stop. Into the hands of Lang. Thosby on Kenyon. Froling wants it. Likes the matchup with Grant. Rains.
Got a good hand in there. Mike Rose or Rains got the hand in there.
Oh, and then
lucky to get away with that, Knox. 1:06 left. It's a 1-point game Dandenong's way.
20 seconds on the shot clock here. Knox need a really good possession and a solid look at a basket here. Grant nearly turns it over. Thosby wants it. Just made one the last play. Rains gets it back. Grant. Marshall. 3. Uncontested.
Oh, Simon Grant. Good hand.
Don't foul. Play your possession out. 77-76.
45 on the clock.
And Marshall's got to take that shot, Damo. That's not a bad shot. That's unguarded. Kernish Drew, run off the line. Lang, inside again, Froling.
4 on the clock.
Kernish Drew.
Doesn't go.
Lang
and a reset.
Chases it down.
Whoa. Unsportsmanlike.
Wowee. Wowee. This is too big a penalty at the end of a game, I reckon. This needs to be 1 free throw. Never mind. Cam Luke will agree with me.
75% from the line.
Kernish Drew makes it a 2-point game. Dandenong will get the ball back with 14 on the shot clock. Kernish Drew at the line. Makes.
I'm not sure who you're telling to shush there, but
he's a bit aggressive. Never mind. 79-76, 24.3 left here in regulation. It is a Dandenong Rangers ball in the front court. They will have 14 to shoot. Knox need to get a stop coming out of here. Damo, what do you reckon Coach McDonald has in his arsenal?
Yeah, Ducky, I think here you got to go for the steal straight up. Try your hardest for the steal for the first couple of seconds, and then what are you going to do? Send them to the line? You can't just allow them just to pass it around. They've only got 14 seconds.
If you get a stop here, Coach McDonald has 2 timeouts in his kit bag, so yeah, for mine, I don't think they need to foul here. Play it out, see if you can get a stop, and then
make them put up a shot,
and call a timeout and see what you can do. Get a quick 2 in the foul. Or
you'll advance the ball. You still have 10 seconds left. Maybe 10 or 12 seconds left.
Yeah.
Ideally, you get a steal.
Let's see what they go with. Declan Sukup charged with inbound duties for the Dandenong Rangers. Rose on Kernish, Drew. Thosby on Kenyon. Calls everybody off.
8 on the clock.
Lang coming for the on-ball. Kernish, Drew separates. Doesn't get it. Got to get a rebound, Knox Raiders.
Throwing. Sends him to the line. 8 seconds on the game clock. Dandenong by 3.
Got to rebound the basketball, Damien. It has to be 5 men to the glass. Brutal blockouts if you have to. Kernish, Drew to just about ice it for the Rangers. Makes the first.
Dejected looks on the Knox bench.
No timeout from Coach McDonald. Rose, got to go quick, son.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed, Knox.
Really valiant comeback.
Yeah.
Falls just short for the Knox Raiders. A full time here in the NBL1 double header. Dandenong Rangers come into town and walk away with a really, really hard-fought victory, 81 points to 76. Really strong performance in the second half for Dexter Kernish. Drew, he came alive, 17 points, and Sam Froling had 15 points and 10 rebounds. And leading the way for the Knox Raiders, Mike Rose with 21. Adam Thosby had 20, and Sedarian Rains had 14 and 8. When we dissect this one, Damo, important loss for the Knox Raiders. They will fall to 4-7.
Yeah, Ducky.
On the season, and they will fall, 3 games behind 50%, where there is a group of teams from about 5th down to about 14 now, and
yeah, and look,
12.
Things don't get any easier for them, mate. They get a week off, and then they've got another doubleheader weekend where they'll play Kilsyth. At Kilsyth, that is always a tough game, no matter how you're travelling. I think they'll be disappointed tonight, Knox. They were, first half, again, not Ducky, as they've done most of the season, they got jumped early. At quarter time, I was thinking, how far Dandenong? And then Knox really fought it out in the third quarter. They came alive. They sort of came out with a new approach, and they attacked, and they were aggressive. They were enthusiastic. And then they got up down the stretch, and foul trouble hurt them again. Yeah. Losing Damon Hire, getting fouled out of the game. It's a disappointing loss for Coach D-Mac and his men.
Yeah, he cuts a bit of a dejected figure there on the bench. I know he's looking at the stats and figuring out how we work this one out, but they were really valiant for 3 quarters. They were probably, the better team on the park. or on the court, and they just got too far behind again. 31 points to 13 at quarter time, and
and credit to Dandenong, mate. I mean, they showed their depth, didn't they? Barker went down the stretch there, but just throughout the night, Coach Perry wasn't afraid to play his bench. Got lots of minutes into different players, and they just looked that they've obviously got some serious talent, and they just looked like they just had a few more options than Knox.
Yeah, they did. I mean, if you look at their stats, like down the page, nobody really stands out. I mean, they only scored 81, and that's the tale of Knox games, is that games come in and they hold, to 80 points, etc. But you look at their team spread, Damien. Kernish Drew has 17. He had 6 at the start of the last quarter and come alive. Froling 15. And then they had Tim Lang on 8 points. Kenyon had 8 points. Barker 7. Poch had 7 in 9 minutes off the bench. 6 for Robertson. Really important. Tyler Robertson comes in and makes 2 threes in the third
really
quarter.
Important, weren't they? They were just at important stages of the game.
And Josh Oswald has 6, and even LePepe plays 10 minutes, and has 5 points. You go up to Knox's, box score, and 21 for Mike Rose, 20 for Adam Thosby, 14 for Rains, and then 10 for Hire. And it just tails off after there to get 4 points out of their bench tonight. And Dandenong are getting 6, 12, 21, 26, nearly 30 points off their bench. It's a big contribution, really important contribution. So we'll shut this one down, ladies and gentlemen. A mixed night for the Knox Raiders, a one-on-one night for them. They were really strong in the women up against a Beck-Colas Dandenong Rangers. They're coming away with an 11-point win and a really, really, really good game here tonight in the men's division. The Dandenong Rangers getting the chocolates, 81-76. I'm the Duckman, and I want to thank Damien Morris again for his brilliant input tonight and his super stats.
Thanks, Dougie. It's been fun, mate. We'll see you in
cheers. Yeah, we'll be
2
back
weeks.
in 2
Versus
weeks.
Eltham here on the Sunday afternoon, SBC.
Perfect.